Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you are all well and enjoying this beautiful weather. You know, I always get excited when I go live stream and it's like, yeah, it's worked again. So super excited about that. But I am more excited about our brilliant, beautiful, amazing guest we have here today. We have got Jackie Bailey. Now, let me just give you a bit of a background about Jackie because she's amazing. Hi, Jackie. Let me just tell the audience about you, Jackie, because I know you talk a lot about yourself and what you're doing, but your intro, your bio is just absolutely amazing. You're just doing absolutely phenomenal work within the community and beyond, which is brilliant. So here goes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Jackie. So Jackie Bailey is a person, no, let me start again. Jackie is the managing director of a heart-centered purpose and soul aligned personal development company, BEU, which stands for Brilliant, Excellent, Exceptional You. BEU provides transformational coaching, workshops, seminars and retreats for women. The women to live their aligned to her soul purpose, on purpose, with a purpose. I love that. The women who know determines to take action now as her time to live with passion and unwavering commitments to be who she was born to be. I love that. I hope I gave it all the justice it needed it, reading it. I've been reading that and practicing.
Thank you, Lesleye.
Oh, you're welcome. Jackie, I just think reading your bio and all the work what you're doing, I just think it's absolutely brilliant. So so welcome everybody to Jackie.
Hi everyone, and thank you for the invitation, Lesleye. It's something that I relish and appreciate. So thank you for inviting me onto your Let's Start a Conversation. And well done with Let's Start a Conversation as well, Lesleye. Well done you.
Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. I really appreciate that. I know we first met, was it last year? It was last year, wasn't it?
It was last year in Stretford at a WOW event. That's where we met.
Yes, the WOW there, that's right, yes. And then I thought the work you were doing was brilliant. And then we met again in Sheffield. So yeah, it's so nice to have you on the platform and sharing your story with us all and what you're doing. So Jackie, before we talk about BEU personal development, can we go back in time a little bit? Because I'm sure the audience would love to know all the brilliant work, what you've done and are doing. So can we talk first of all about your GAL active?
Sisters Gal. Sisters Get Active with Literature. Okay, so Sisters Get Active with Literature. Sisters Gal, so a play on words. So Sisters Gal came into being in 2007. It's on a hiatus now as I took time out to start really more fully focusing on BU, but don't worry, it's coming back. So I've always just had a passion and love for reading. And, you know, whenever I had to do a course, I always made sure I was doing English literature, but it wasn't always necessary that the books were reflecting me or my interests or people around me. And then I realized that people who just didn't have kind of an innate love for literature sometimes just thought, I don't like reading. And I was like, you know what? If we can get people to understand that there's like diversity of books, there's diversity of authors, it's just that when we were younger, you oftentimes didn't get to see or have access to that diversity. So I thought I was like a woman on a mission. Well, I was a woman on a mission, and I am still that woman on a mission to get people to see, appreciate and love the diversity that there is in literature. And it's getting better. So Sisters Gal came out of that. So I set it up as a space for Black women of the African diaspora to come together and read different books. Books that represented us, but books that also represented other groups globally as well. But primarily it was, 80 to 90% books that were written by people of the African diaspora, so African people. And it was very interesting. Set it up as a reading group, and we read a wealth of books. Wow. One of the things that I did when we started Sisters Gal was to approach Manchester libraries, tell them what I was doing, and had a conversation with them where we agreed that for each book that was on our reading list, the libraries would purchase a minimum of 6 copies, and that they would be distributed across the city to different libraries. Libraries where they'd have different communities, but also in libraries where there might not be as diverse communities as well, so that people from all different backgrounds can appreciate and value diversity in terms of writers. So Sisters Gal went on from being a reading group, and we read, established writers, people like Terry Macmillan, Toni Morrison, the African American sisters, but we also read local writers. We read work by Jacqueline Roy, we read work by Deanne Herron, we read Zadie Smith. So there's quite a range of writers, but we made sure that we also had a basis of making sure we read Black British writers too. And we read quite a wealth of Caribbean-based writers and African-based writers as well. So when we would meet up, we'd discuss all different issues and themes that came out of the books that we were reading. And then I realised, actually, the meetings would be going beyond the allocated 2 hours. So then we'd start meeting, and having coffees, and then we started going out for a meal every so often.
Yeah.
And then, I could see different theatrical production symposium in London where there was like Wallace and Yinka. Angela Davis was meant to be there, but unfortunately she had a bereavement in her family at the time, so she wasn't able to be there in person. So we went from being a reading group to being a reading group, a social group, and then the first BU retreats came out of Sisters Gal. Because
I don't mean to interrupt you, let me just stop you there. Let me just ask you a question quickly about Sister Gal. So what sort of people were coming on there? What sort of age group? And
we're in the reading group.
Yes.
So the reading group, I would say primarily it was, if there were 12 people in the group, so we'd go from between 6 to 12 people at each meeting, and the age at the time would be primarily, I'd say, 40s and 50s. Although at the time I was in my 30s.
No.
So 40s and 50s, but then there was a handful of us in our 30s, and there were a couple of people in their 20s as well.
Right.
Obviously it started 10 years ago. So I'm now at the latter end of my, not 10 years ago, what am I talking about? It's like 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was that 30s, and I'm now at the latter end of my 40s. And when I stopped, when we took the pause for BU I think we took the pause 2018, yeah. I'd say the age group then was couple, maybe 2 people in the 30s, and then again it was still, by this point it was like 40s to 60s. And I think it's great when you can have that mix of ages, to share experiences, to share knowledge, to have that discussion. For a young woman to hear, for example, if we were reading a book and there might be a raunchy scene in there, for a woman to hear someone who's her mother's age be going, oh yes, going and accepting that sex doesn't stop when you're 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever. Yeah, whatever the age may be. So those discussions, I think, were really good to have in that intergenerational context.
Good. No, that sounds really good. And is it something what you're thinking about starting up again? Because it sounds good, you know, like when people now we've got everything's virtual. I think that'd be excellent to start. I was really impressed by that.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, well, what was interesting, Lesleye, that you asked that right at the beginning of the COVID-19 restrictions. So, you know, they started in March. As we got to April, I got about 3 messages where people were saying, Jackie, you restarting Sistas Gal? And I was like, yes, but it's likely to be in 2021. People said, oh, but now's the ideal time. And I thought, yes, it is. But I'm really clear on that. We have to know what we can focus on and focus on doing well. And I knew what I had in my plans for the next 6 months. And that's not to say you can't be flexible, but I knew that if I started up Sistas Gal in that time, it wouldn't necessarily be of the quality that I would want the group, you know, to be, and, you know, the level of engagement, because I wanted to be doing other stuff, and I'm sure we'll get onto it. And that's when I started doing like the EU talk and journaling and so on. So it wasn't the time for it. You know, everything in its season for a reason.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to bring it back next year, virtually or otherwise.
Okay, excellent. I'm looking forward to that. So your work, you've always been, well, you've been involved with the mental health and working for the Manchester City Council. Can you tell us a little bit, in the NHS, can you tell us a little bit about your work, your background?
Yeah, so my first role that I went into after I graduated from uni was actually with NACRO, National Association for Care and Resettlement of Offenders. And I worked in an all-female project where we worked with women at risk of offending or women who were involved in the criminal justice system. And we were project workers in a range of different accommodation. So I did that work, you know, and it ranged from liaising with education, housing, health, going to interview women in different prisons, you know, including Style, and also liaison with probation.
Sorry to cut you, Jackie. We have got a very similar background because
okay.
I worked in housing. I was a police officer.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yes, I was a police officer for about 8 years in the Metropolitan Police. I've always worked with women, domestic violence. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, well, thanks for sharing that, because I wasn't aware of that. So yeah, so I worked in NACRO. I also trained as an advice worker with the Citizens Advice Bureau, and I went on to be on the Manchester steering group. At that point, I was in my early 20s, I was like 24, so, you know, I was really young on the steering group, but, you know, there I was on the steering group. So I did voluntary advice work for about 18 months at You Citizens Advice Bureau. And for me, I knew that I wanted to be in a place of advocacy, supporting, you know, social justice is really important. I'd done my MSc in Equal Opportunities Studies, so that was politics and law. And so I really wanted to be able to utilize that in a way that made a difference and, you know, had an impact. So I was really happy to go and work in NACRO with, you know, the women who were in contact with the criminal justice system. I was really pleased to do voluntary work at the Citizens Advice Bureau, and happy when I got onto the steering group. And then it was about, well, what's the next move going to be? And then I saw a role that came up with Manchester City Council, which was to set up an advice service for the African Caribbean community, to serve the African Caribbean community in Manchester. So in that role, we established an advice service where we provided advice in 3 different community venues, and there were lots of other link workers for other communities as well, you know, Somalian, Bosnian, Vietnamese, Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and so on. It was quite, you know, there were a lot of link workers. And so I established that service for the African Caribbean community. And then I went on from that to become the supervisor, the senior link worker in the team in the south of Manchester. And at that time, that involved a lot of work because it was when there was the eruption of the volcano in Montserrat. So there was a lot of work with the, as they were termed at the time, Montserratian evacuees who'd come to Manchester and other cities in England at the time, obviously for safety. And so that involved a lot of that work and a lot of work with Mosque housing, with Mosque and Women's Action.
I worked for Mosque Housing
in Manchester. All right, okay, well there you go, yeah. With MOSWAF, Mosque and Women's Action Forum, which was great. You know, I worked alongside the board there and with Mrs. Dakakoja, looking at different ways that the community could be supported, and you know, with the director at the time, Wendy Henry, and then with Livia Souza. So yeah, it was a really good time. Loved the role, you know, really being able to advocate, support people, think about education, housing, employment, all different sorts of issues, because I wanted to be able to practically use my skills to make a difference and to see people, you know, progress and be self-empowering and to be supporting themselves.
Well, no, that's fantastic. And you can see all that work, what you've done, and how you brought all that work in what you're doing now is just brilliant, you know. So tell us, talk to us, because I know everybody's eager to know about Be You and journaling.
Okay, so before I get to Be You, because critical for that, I think, as well, is after being the African Caribbean link worker, I went on to be the women's officer, so the principal policy officer for gender in Manchester City Council. So I did that, I think, for about 5 or 6 years, and then I manager in the NHS, and was looking at what they determine equality, diversity and inclusion. So I was a strategic manager in that, and for me, access, experience and outcomes were key there. You know, how do people access services? What are their experiences of services, and what are the outcomes in terms of looking at it across the board? And even before that, you know, how are services commissioned? What are the types of services? Are they meeting different needs? So I was in that role again in the NHS, maybe for about 6 years, and then I left my 9 to 5 in 2011. Was it 2000? No, 2012. 2012, and you know, there was a lot of, what are you doing? You know, you're in your late 30s, you're a lone parent, your daughter's only young. How are you going to, you know, finance yourselves? What are you going to do? But I knew, I had that feeling that there was just something more out there, you know, for me, and that I needed and I wanted to do something that I just felt was more in my control, that actually would show my daughter as well that you can be and do whatever you set your mind to. So I set up a management consultancy, which not very imaginatively titled. I went around for all different sorts of names, and all the names I chose were already picked. And then someone said to me, Jackie, what are you really doing? You're selling yourself, just call it your name. So, you know, you're selling your knowledge, your skills, your ability, your experience. So yeah, it's called J Bailey Consulting. So, you know, and with that, I do work around stakeholder engagement, access, inclusion, organisational development, looking at policies, procedures, governance, accountability, and that sort of thing, primarily with the public sector, but also with some private companies and with some charities and small voluntary organisations as well. So I've been doing that since 2012. And one of the things that I realised I really loved was the work looking at vision, mission, purpose, values, ethics. Wow. So to align that with Be You and Sistas Girl, What then happened was when we were having these Sisters Gal meetings and people saying, oh, you know, this has been my experience and that has been my experience, and you know, they're talking about challenges that they were facing or issues that the books had brought up for them. I thought, actually, we just need a space that's more time, that's focused, that is for us to have that space just to be ourselves and to be able to speak freely. To be able to focus on us, focus on our desire, and focus on building and working towards a vision. And that's where the first BU event came from. And the first one, you know, it wasn't like, it was like, oh yeah, this is BU. It was like, okay, I'm going to find a way, I'm going to organize a retreat. So we went to some luxury lodges in Lincolnshire. These lodges were gorgeous. They had their own sauna. They were in acres of woodland. You know, there were deers, rabbits. They were also part of a hotel, although the hotel was a little bit away, and we could go. We could use the sauna. Not the sauna. We could have spa. You could, you know, everything that was there. So we had the retreat and we had that space, and that was the beginning of a BU experience that I do now called Take Action to Manifest Your Vision. And the feedback from that first retreat, where most of the attendees were from the reading group, bar 2 or 3 women, I think, was just so positive. And, you know, people saying, oh, you need to do this again. It's been really great. You know, I've got a dynamic vision board now. I'm clearer on my purpose. So I thought, okay. And amongst all that, I've had time to relax as well with what the women were saying. So I thought, okay. I was still doing primarily J. Bailey consulting work. So it was another year before we had another BU retreat. But in that year, I decided to register BU as a limited company. And I thought, you know what, this is something that I'm going to focus on. I love it. This is my passion. And, you know, working with women, you know, doing that work around facilitating, you know, people looking at core values and beliefs, thinking about what their purpose is, what motivates them, what makes your soul sing, what enthuses you, what delights you, what you would do even if people, you know, you didn't get paid for it, what makes you happy, what makes you be like, yes. And so I thought, I'm going to put another retreat on. So I did the second retreat in 2017. And I tell you, when I was there, you know, so the retreats had, you know, workshops, yoga, time for reflection, you know, someone coming in around core values and beliefs as well. Just, you know, just really soul nourishing, holistic space where you come to be and you feel comfortable to be. And I just love that B is brilliant, excellent, exceptional, because all of us are brilliant, excellent, and exceptional in our own unique ways, every single one of us. And so, absolutely, Lesleye. Oh, do you know what? I forgot that I said to you that I'd look on Facebook to see if I'll have a look shortly to see.
It's fine, don't worry, we're great in conversation here, don't worry.
Yeah, okay, so I'll look later then. Yeah, so then so at that second retreat, I'll never forget it, 2017, I felt I was so ill at that retreat. If you look at the pictures, my eyes are red, but I was determined. I was like sitting with my aromatizer every night with all different oils and things in it. I was there and I was like, I'm giving my all to this retreat. And I think there were about 12 women at that retreat. And we went back to the same place in Lincolnshire. And I was like, okay, I was at the retreat and there was a moment where I went in to facilitate a workshop and women came in, and one woman came in with her hair all wet and, you know, clipped down. And because we have what's called an Empress banquet at the end of the retreat, and we do the UK retreats, and she was like, oh, my hair's like this because I need to clip it down for the style that I want it tonight. Someone else came in, and you know, when you go, you will know what I mean, Lesleye, because this is like a black girl experience. When you're little and you go to school and your parent, your carer's not had time to plait your hair, and you might go with your hair all scraped up back in a nice neat ponytail. And do you remember them old little brown clips that we used to have with the teeth?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so one of them. And then you come home and just the middle bit of your hair still in the clip, and then the rest of it's like a halo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So one woman came in, and that's how her hair was, and she didn't say anything, and she didn't need to.
No.
You know, it's your hair, wear it how you want. And there was just different ways that people came in. You know, another woman came in and she was twisting her hair while she was in there. And then it brought me back to, actually, the night before, I knocked on the door, 2 doors of women who were at the retreat. One of them came and I was like, oh, and I said, oh, I thought you had extensions. And he went, oh no, that was a wig. So she'd come to the door and she was, you know, happy chatting to me. And then I went to another woman's door and she, what was hers? She had on the stocking head. And I was like, hi, chatty, didn't think anything of it. But when I thought of it all, I thought, hang on a minute, hold on a minute. This environment is such that these black women feel comfortable enough, because you know hair can be a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Comfortable enough to be in that space and place that someone's knocking on the door, not even bothered who it is, didn't know it was me, and they're just themselves. They're coming to the meeting, and when I'm talking about being yourself, it's yourself in your whole entirety. Workplaces talk about bringing your whole self to work.
Yeah.
Those women brought their whole self, felt comfortable, safe enough to bring their whole self to that retreat. And it was in that moment that I thought, my next retreat, I am going to do a retreat that is for black women of the African diaspora, and it is going to be in a black majority country.
Wow.
And it be You Sistas, and Be You Sistas is for black women of the African diaspora. So I have Be You, which is for all women, and I unapologetically have Be You Sistas, which is for black women of the African diaspora, a space and place for us to be. And that was birthed there. And let me tell you, Lesleye, I came home, recovered. I had booked my flight to Gambia before, this was at the beginning of December, and before New Year's Eve of December 2017, I'd booked my flight to Gambia.
Wow.
And I thought, this is where I'm going to have the next retreat.
Wow.
And I went to Gambia in the March of 2018. And then I went back again in the November of 2018.
Yeah.
I went to a vegan fest there. And in February 2019, we had the first Be You Sistas retreat. So it was the third Be You retreat, but the first Be You Sistas retreat, and that was in Gambia.
Wow.
And there was 12 of us on that retreat, and it was on self-love and self-compassion.
Wow, that must have been amazing to go there.
Oh,
wow.
You
I went to Gambia last year.
Say that again.
I went to Gambia last year and it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
yeah, beautiful.
Good. Yeah. So for me, I'm a firm believer in take action, and you know, I had that vision there that, you know, this is what I want to do. This is who I would like it to be for, so they can do more around being, because I have a big thing around being and doing. And I was just like, I'm going to make this vision a reality. And, you know, it was just humbling to see, you know, 12 women self-investing, you know, thinking about self-love, self-compassion, engaging in, you know, the first day we did a woman's worth, and I organised we had sessions in the morning with 3 phenomenal speakers, you know, women who... How
long did you go for?
The retreat was for a week. I was there for 3 weeks. So the sessions in the morning with, you know, us interacting with the 3 speakers, learning about ourselves, but also experiences in Gambia. And then the afternoon session, just beautiful. There was about, I'd say there was about 40 of us, and there were women from Gambia, and I organised a women entrepreneurs market. So, you know, lots of female entrepreneurs from Gambia came and they sold their wares. I mean, I still have some fantastic, phenomenal, personalised, like leather purse, document holder that I had someone make for me. People were selling my ring, all sorts of different things. You know, the women from here. And the powerful thing for me for that was not only about, you know, supporting the entrepreneurs financially, but it was about the discussion that we had as sisters, African sisters. So us with our experience here in the UK, but hearing, you know, the Gambian women share their experience. I mean, there were tears, there was laughter, there was sharing. It was just brilliant. You know, we did some time, spent some time at an eco lodge. We did a day trip over to a little section of Senegal where it was just separated by, you know, a strip of water. We went to a living history museum in Tangier.
Wow.
Just all sorts of things.
How did the other women find it then? What were their experience? What did they get out from it?
The women who attended.
Yes, yes.
I've got some videos actually that I'm going to put up online of women so you can hear it in their own voices. Right. So I would say to summarize, some of the things that they talk about is learning to be open and share with other women, learning from each other, looking at the connections in terms of culture, history and identity, how they feel around being in that supportive, embracing environment, around other women, learning different things about Gambia, having the time to think about self and self-love and self-compassion and being kind to self. You know, some of the things that we experienced there, we did workshops on the beach. You know, I ran my workshops and, you know, one of them was on the beach. We did yoga, sunset yoga in a beautiful purpose-built kind of yoga circle, which was outside with the waves in the background. It was a beautiful experience. So I will put up the video testimonies so that people can hear, you know, straight from the sisters themselves.
Yeah, so is this something what you're going to continue doing, or?
Oh, absolutely. If it wasn't now for COVID-19 restrictions, we would be going on the Relita Vitality Retreat in Jamaica in mid-October.
Wow.
That was planned. I've been to Jamaica twice specifically to plan this. I've been to Jamaica many times, but to specifically plan this. And, you know, when I planned it, I was like, this retreat, if I wasn't organising it, I'd go on it myself. We're going to do essential oil making, you know, right from plucking the ingredients out of the ground and it going through the process. I've linked up with a women's group, and again we'll do a joint workshop with that women's group in St. Elizabeth. I've linked up with the Breast Cancer Foundation, and they're doing great work in terms of supporting women with breast cancer in Jamaica. And, you know, we were going to be supporting their Sip and Paint event with local artists, staying in two different parts. We were staying in St. Mary, where we were going to do the essential oil, and also meet someone who does some traditional kind of weaving as well. In St. Mary, people could opt to go on fishing trips. We'd be doing activities outside again, like the classes on self-esteem and also yoga. In St. Elizabeth, we were staying in villas. This is where we will be staying, in villas where everything's cooked for us. They're just absolutely stunning. The villas right near to the sea as well. For those women who are interested, you could do a charitable 5K run or walk. Always link with charities as part of the BU retreats experiences abroad. So obviously that's been delayed.
Yes.
I did do an online retreat, Sister Sanctuary.
Yes.
And You Sistas one, which was July. Yeah, July the 31st to the 2nd of August.
Yes.
That went really, really well. 17 women attended that across the 3 days. And again, you know, funds will be going to the Janet Clue Foundation from that. So always thinking about, you know, ways of being supportive and promoting positive causes. So yeah, I'll be doing more online retreats until we can actually do in-person retreats. And people ask about online retreats, and the thing is, I put a lot of effort into people making their space and environment a sanctuary for them during the retreat. I loved the space that I created for myself so much that we left it for like 5 days, but then in the end I thought it looks very pretty and beautiful, but I actually need to use the room. Excellent. Even my daughter was like, "Oh, let's just leave it. It looks really nice." I was like, "Yeah, but we actually can't keep tiptoeing around these things. We need to use the room."
Yeah, exactly. So, what about journaling then? Because I never journaled before. Well, maybe I might have written things down, but I haven't really taken it as serious as I'm taking it since meeting you. So, about journaling.
So, I have always loved writing, but journaling, you know, as a teenager, I kept a diary. It was that kind of, oh, this person did my head in today, or and you know what? I still got my diaries from like when I was 13.
Really?
And every so often I go back and read them, and I'm just howling with laughter of some of the things that I've said. And you know, one of the things that I remember, I look when I read it, I was like, oh, my gran gave me £5, but I didn't tell my mum. Just like in 1988, so £5 is a good amount of money. Not telling me mum, but what made me laugh was that a couple of entries later was like, oh, my mum found out about the £5 fish and chips. And she's like, where did you get the money from to buy these fish and chips? So, you know, it's just like funny things and that. And that's the question that I get asked a lot, kind of what's the difference? You know, is journaling like keeping a diary?
Yeah.
So I came to journaling, I'd say got committed to journaling, maybe I'd say about 5 years ago. And I know that without journaling, I know for a fact BU wouldn't be progressing in the way that it is. It's kept me focused. It's kept me motivated. It's been a space and place for me to just get everything out. So it's great for catharsis. If there have been times where I've had challenges, it's a space where I can just write down what the challenge is and then think, and what can I do about it? If there are emotional challenges, I've found it exceptional for managing emotions. And there was a period of about 3 months where each time I journaled, I'd write about something that day where I felt I'd managed my emotions well, or where I felt if I had the opportunity again, this is how I would do it. And that really got me to start thinking about how do I react in the moment? How well am I managing my emotions? How can I manage them better? Having said that, I'm also big on feel your feelings. So I've had quite a few close bereavements in a short period of time. And I know that one of the things that has really helped me get through it is journaling. You know, sometimes I'd be journaling and literally like crying my eyes out, but then thinking, you know what? I've thought about the good times, I've thought about the positives, you know what I mean? And then I can see that it's really helping me to deal with the grief, to deal with how I'm feeling, to take that and feel the feelings, not run away from them, but then also think about other areas in my life as well. So it's more than a diary. It's not just sitting there and thinking, what have I done today, or what did I do yesterday? Of course that can be part of it because you use it as a reflection tool, but as I say, it's a good tool for motivation, focus, gaining clarity, vision building, using affirmations. I mean, even today, I wrote an affirmation in my journal around how I want my bedroom to be a sanctuary for rest. You know, my bedroom is my sanctuary for rest. And so that's what I want, but I'm writing it that it is my bedroom is my sanctuary for rest. And so, you know, I'm going to keep writing that. I'm going to keep speaking it. And, you know, mirror work in combination with your journaling is really good and really helpful as a tool to support you. When I wanted to increase my engagement in terms of social media, because everyone who knows me knows I'm not naturally a social media person, but I thought BU is fantastic. I need to let more people know about it. So I was like, right, okay, I have to get over this. I have to get over this kind of, I'm not into social media. So for, I think again, it was for about 3 months, I wrote 5 affirmations daily, which were, you know, was about BU, engaging authentically on social media, building up engagement organically, and that sort of thing. All the things that I want that are true to my kind of authentic self, that how I would like BU to progress and develop. And those things are definitely manifesting now. The affirmations that I wrote, so definitely.
Do you use that like a vision board then? Have you got a vision board as well as that? Because like one of your
I have got one vision board. So the reason I have more than one, so in my office I have 2. I do one at the beginning of each year, which is about what I want for BU in the year to come. And then I do another one, which is specifically about retreats. And the vision board that I did on, what year are we in now? 2018 on retreats. That absolutely came to manifest. In the middle of it was a picture of a woman facing the sea, but you saw the back of her, and her arms were outstretched like this. And I put that in the middle because I thought that is the freedom, the view, the sense of peace, the sense of well-being, the sense of self, because you could just see it in her stance, the sense of being comfortable, the sense of knowing that people have got your back, that I want women who come on the retreats to have. And I'm telling you, Lesleye, when we went to Gambia, after I did one of the sessions on the beach, I was just like pulling my things together, you know, retying my sarong, to be able to tie a sarong on the beach again. And I looked out, and one of the women from the retreat was in that exact stance.
Wow.
I was gutted that by the time I grabbed my phone, she'd like moved, but that's how she was. And I thought, wow. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, So I have a vision board for retreats. And then I also have a couple of vision boards in my house as well. But I'm very much into not just having the vision board with the pictures and the words, but having a vision board that's dynamic, that encourages you to take action, that motivates you, you know, that keeps you focused, which is why when we do take action to manifest your vision, which is the course that I told you started off as part of the retreats, we do that beginning work on core values and beliefs, setting in intentions, what is your vision, what is your purpose, you know, living aligned to your soul purpose, on purpose and with purpose, you know, what do you feel is your soul purpose, using tools. There's one that an action planning one called BU Magic. And there's going to be a BU Magic journal, hopefully later this year as well, to be supporting people with being focused through journaling, motivation and clarity. Excellent. And then there's another tool called BU and Transform, which is used in Take Action to Manifest Your Vision. And at the very end of it, when you've done all of that thinking, there's visualizations, there's creating your own affirmations, there's your action plan, as I said, your intention setting, thinking about your bigger goal and vision. That's when you create your vision board, because all of that is there. and you draw on all of that to create a dynamic vision board that will motivate you and keep you focused.
Yeah. So what motivates you? What keeps, apart from, who is Jackie? That's the question. Who is Jackie?
What, who am I? So I would say that I am a woman who has decided that, we're here to live the life that we desire. And we can take action to make that a reality. And everyone feels fear, me too, and I use the acronym for myself that fear is false evidence appearing real. There are things that come along and think, you get that feeling and you I get it with certain things, everyone does. And I just think, no, I'm not going to let that, take over me. What I'm going to focus on is keeping my eyes on the prize. What is it that is important to me? That's only part of me, because the other part of me is the part that understands that we need to just be. And when I talk about that, it's around taking time to just relax, nurture self, satisfy your soul, nourish yourself. There's nothing wrong with guilt-free enjoyment. Thinking, you know what? Today is my nothing day. If, I'm just going to get up and do whatever pleases me.
Yeah.
I carve out time for well-being and relaxation. Yeah. I carve out time for well-being and relaxation. Yesterday I did a 2.5 hour online retreat in the afternoon. We had other things. I was online doing an IG live, but I carved out that time. I was like, listen, this is what I am going to do. So that's the other side of me, the side of me that says, I'm a person, I'm a woman who needs to nurture and nourish herself. I'm a mother. I want my child to have the best of me. I love socializing. I love art, so I love spoken word.
Yeah.
I love theatre. I'm really missing all of that now, but I found alternatives online to quench that thirst. I took up walking since we've had the restrictions. I was doing loads of walking and I've now injured my Achilles, so that means I can't do as much walking, but to just find the natural local beauty.
Yeah.
Love reading. I've read 10 books since April.
Yeah. I enjoy walking.
Do you? Do you do a lot of walking?
I do a lot of walking, yeah. I
walk. All right.
Yeah. I do, and then I'm on my bike as well. I bought a bike during the lockdown, so I go out. Like today, I went out. I think I did about 8 miles. About 8 miles today.
Right.
Push bike. So yeah, I enjoy doing that. Wow. So what is?
So you're doing it more?
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, are you doing more since lockdown, or are you finding that
I haven't been on a bike since I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So this buying a bike, and I didn't think I'd be able to get on it. I thought, oh God, how's it going to balance me? So
right, yeah.
I've had a lot of fun on the bike. I've fallen off it. I scratched myself, split my trousers, but I thought I'm getting right back on. And yeah, I'm a lot more confident now. I'm able to go on the roads, which is really good. So a question for you, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself as BU will have developed. I'll be delivering 3 to 4 retreats a year. I will be delivering retreats, not only, this is my passion, delivering retreats for women so they can manifest their vision, live to their purpose, have space and time to relax and reflect as well, but also delivering corporate retreats, you know, for all these organizations that say bring your whole self to work, we're here to support your well-being, for them to actually live by that and kind of value the contributions that staff make by supporting corporate retreats. I want to be working with different types of cohorts of women, but also things that align to social justice, as I said, is really key for me. So I want to be, I'd love to be working with groups like young carers. Like last year I did a vision and goal setting exercise with through a company specializing in neuropsychology. And so I did a session with young people who had experienced brain injury. So fulfilling. So I want to do more of that kind of stuff. I want to be working with more women around vision, mission, purpose. What's your personal vision? You know, what's your life mission? What's your purpose? How can you take action for that to be your reality? So I want BU to really, really expand. My ultimate thing is I want to have my own retreat facility.
Ooh, where?
Caribbean. Most likely Jamaica, but you know, I don't know yet. But yes, I want to have my own retreat facility, and in that, my dream is that it will be there. You know, it will employ and support local people.
Yes.
You know, contribute to the economy. It's a place for people to come to as well. So that I have a picture that's in my office, and it's of a woman with purple lipstick. I don't know how I found this, wrapped in like a purple and gold thing with beautiful sandals that I would wear, and she's sitting on a wicker chair that looks like she's on a veranda. And I look at that picture and I'm like, yep, Jackie, that's you.
Oh, yeah, because you well,
in 10 years, that is you sitting on the veranda of your retreat facility, just surveying. So that's where I want to be. You know, and my daughter to know that she can be anything that she wants to be, and for her to live her life aligned to her soul purpose, and know, you know, that that's the right thing for her.
Why are you doing all this? What about your partner? Are you going to be doing it by yourself? Are you going to be doing it with, who are you going to be doing all this work with?
Well, I am single at the moment, so I will be doing it with my partner. I'm speaking it into being. I will be doing it with my partner, because there's 10 years for that kind of ultimate vision. So yeah, I'd love to have that, you know, loving, mutually respectful relationship. And so it's not something that I'm focused on at the moment, but I'm absolutely not close to it. So, you know, when I get my vision board out on that, I will let you know, Lesleye. When that becomes the focus of my journaling, I mean, one of the other things is I'd love more people, and this is one of my kind of missions, more people to understand and acknowledge and really appreciate for themselves how accessible journaling is, how effective journaling is, which is why I set up that series, BU Talking Journaling, over the summer, where we mixed, you know, topical issues with fantastic artists, poets and specialists in different areas, and we had journaling prompts mixed in with it, and that was just fabulous. So there'll be more BU Talking Journaling coming up.
Excellent.
And also to say as well, for anyone who doesn't know, there's a free to access Facebook group, Journal to Being Your Best You, and being is BEE, being. And in there's some free to access experiences around journaling. I will be running more Take Action to Manifest Your Vision courses. Just to say, that is now a 3-session package, which starting this Wednesday, the 23rd of September, will be online for 3 consecutive weeks. So all that stuff that we've talked about, core values, beliefs, intention setting, affirmations, visualization, all of that will take place in 2.5 sessions. So any women who are listening and you might be interested in that, please feel free to message me, or you can just go and have a look on Eventbrite. Visit my Facebook or Instagram pages, actually, because there's loads of testimonies on there. Instagram lives with women this week who've talked about.
I'll put the link in on my page as well, so you can get the link from there as well.
Thank you, Lesleye. So for me, it will be a mixture between, for me, there's knowing, doing, being. So we all know things, we all know what we should be doing. Do we translate that knowing into doing? Yeah. Do we actually take the action? Do we, do we do what we know is right and what will help us to achieve our vision? But also, while we're doing that, are we taking the time to be? So be, for me, around being your authentic self, being your loving self, not only to others, but to your own self, self-love, radical self-care is so important. And why I say it's radical, particularly for women, is we are not encouraged or supported to take care of ourselves. And we need to carve out the time, create the boundaries, and be kind and loving and caring to ourselves. Carve that time out, diary it in like you diary in other things. And your radical self-care can be it can be journaling, it can be meditating, it can be going for a walk, it can be going to bed half an hour earlier, it can be having a bath. It doesn't have to be I'm going away for 2 weeks. Do these things consistently. Self-care every day.
I bought some beautiful products from Nicole Sterling, Tropical, and these products, so on a Sunday evening, this is when I usually do it, I have a face pack, I put my cream on and just chill out and just relax and just gather my thoughts, reflect from my week, my day, and just listen to soft music. And I just love doing that, because this is my special time just to relax and
listen to your favorite music, like you said. What if if you've got a film that you really wanted to see and you've not had a chance, whatever it is, it could just be today I'm going to sit here, as I said before, and not do anything. It could be taking the time to read that book that you haven't read for a while, but just be. So as I said, knowing, doing, being, making sure. And I talk about, for me, I have a belief in alignment over balance. And for me, it's that, we talk about balance, you have your work-life balance, and it's here. But sometimes, if I've got loads, like this week, I've had so many Instagram lives on Take Action to Manifest Your Vision. So during the week, this was my work, and this was my being. So that's why yesterday, I'd already planned it in, so I knew I was going to have this 2.5 hours. My being from my retreat went to there. And then today now, I've had quite a full day. I've had an Instagram live, I've run an accountability group, because I run a You Sistas accountability group, so I did that today as well. So my day so far has been like this, in terms of, but BU doesn't feel like work to me, so but that's how BU has been. And then the being has been here, but it's going to go like that this evening, because I'm going to be kind to myself and take some time and just relax and be. So you can't always be like that, but you can create that alignment. And alignment is also really important in terms of your values. Are you living life aligned to your values? Is your role that you do, is your job that you do, is it aligned to your values? Are the actions that you're taking aligned to your values? So it's all those sorts of things that I find really important and crucial for people to hold on to.
No, that's excellent. And it's true, and it's nice. And why not? Why shouldn't we, reward ourselves, by doing these special things for ourselves? And it should be just a part of our routine where you can just pamper and just relax and have fun. So yeah, I'm totally up for all of that. And I'm doing it more so now, actually, finding a special time for myself. So yeah, that time.
Well, Lesleye, I've got the comments up here as you asked me to have a look at. So let me just bring them up again and see what people were saying. So Alvinique Fielding, hi Marcia, hi Delphine. Thank you, Marcia, for saying, she says, you look beautiful, Jackie and Lesleye. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Paula Taylor, hi. Marcia's looking forward to next year. Oh, Marcia, share with us, if you're still with us, what is it about next year that you're looking forward to? Keisha Adair Swaby says, beautiful ladies. Thank you, Keisha. Paula Taylor says, wow, well done, Jackie. Thank you so much, Paula. Thank you for that comment. Marcia says, such an inspiration to leave your job and start out on your own. Fabulous. Thank you. And we can, anyone who is interested in doing that, think about, we have to think about the entirety of it. We think about what is it that drives us, what is our sole purpose. Of course, finances are an issue as well. We've got to be realistic. So what is it that you know? What is it that then you have to do, for your life to be how you want it to be? So that's really important as well. Katia says, hi. And she said, it sounds amazing. Thank you. Thanks for saying it's excellent, Paula. Karen Cruz, sounds like a retreat you'd love to attend. Please, more than welcome. Lesleye will put my links in so you can see when we're going to have other things to do. Katia says, love the speaking into being, professing over our lives to manifest our visions. Absolutely. There's writing into being through your journaling, and I call that future vision journaling. So when I do that, Lesley's done it. When I do the 2-hour online introduction to journaling, we talk about all sorts of different journaling, different tools, different approaches, and one of them is future vision journaling. Katia says again, such a crucial time to put information products forward. Thank you, Paula, for saying it sounds amazing. And what else shall I tell you, Lesleye? So there's so many comments here, Lesleye. So important to invest in our passion, radical self-care. Marcia love it, self-care every day, absolutely. Knowing, doing, being, relaxing and chilling. Personal values is key. Thank you, Jackie, is what Marcia Hilton says. If anyone's got anything else to ask, please do. Oh, hang on. Jackie, the book club. Was it Gail Talk? I'd be interested. Sisters Gal. So SISTAS,
yeah.
Sisters. Yeah. Gal, as in Gal, G-A-L. But Sisters Get Active with Literature, because I'm all about the action taking.
No, that's brilliant, Jackie. It's been an absolute pleasure. I can't believe we've got to 6:05 already.
Wow, we can't chat you soon.
Oh my goodness. The time goes quick when you're having fun. That's brilliant.
Let's have a look, see if anybody else has said anything else before. Oh my God, there's 2 more comments here.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Oh, loved this. Oh, thank you, Katia. And she said, you ladies are incredible. And Lesleye, you are. I remember you saying you were going to start this, and you've taken the action and you've done it. Fantastic. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You're going to make me cry. Thank you.
No, honestly, you have to appreciate and acknowledge, what you've done and what you're doing. It's valuable. It's just well done, you. And that's a great thing you can use in your journaling as well. Use that space to appreciate, acknowledge and celebrate yourself. You deserve it. Oh. Absolutely. Fantastic. Well done.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate it. You're making me cry.
Only the truth.
Thank you. Somebody else said to me that, Lesleye, I want to know about you. When are we going to hear about you? What's Lesley's story? So, yeah, we're going to be hearing about that soon.
Will you be sharing your story with us, Lesleye?
Say that again, Jackie, sorry? Will
you be sharing it with us at some point?
Yes.
Will you be sharing your story with us then at some point?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. I look forward to it.
I will be sharing my story. Get your tissues.
No, fantastic, honestly. I look forward to it. I'm just checking if anything else has come up before you go. Oh, Paula Tay. Oh, okay. Sorry, let's Marcia, shut your face. Marcia's put, nah, Jackie can't chat. Because Marcia's really quiet, not. And then Kara's put, professionalism and password, you can't beat it. So and Marcia said, love you, Jackie. Oh, she's so funny. Thank you, Paula, for saying it's been wicked. Such an inspiration to all of us. And she says, well done. And oh, Lesleye, just thank you so much. You're such a generous host. You're just made for this.
Thank you.
You're fabulous.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Well appreciated. Don't move. So, everybody, thank you to Jackie. She's just been amazing. And there's loads of things there. Journaling, sister retreat. I mean, come on, ladies. Do you want to be a part of that? We are going to leave the links in my page. Okay. And Jackie has said that you can also jump on her page as well.
Oh, thank you, Lesleye. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, jump on, because I never really took journaling as serious as I'm taking it now. And what I'm getting out of it is just brilliant. You know, it's all that clutter, what you've got. That's the best way I'm describing it. Everything that's going around in your head, you can get that out onto paper. And for me, I call it clutter. So you're free, you just clear your mind at the end of the day, and at the start of your morning, you write down what you've been thinking through the night and whatever comes to you, man. Free journaling. I just love it. So yeah, so if you want to know more about journaling, please get in touch with Jackie. Like she said, she's starting her retreat on
Take Action. It's Take Action to Manifest Your Vision on Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
And you'll get journaling prompts as well between each session. So not only will you get all the stuff around the core values, beliefs, creating your own affirmations, intention setting, there's activities between each session as well that will keep you focused and motivated.
Jump on it, because you know we all need to go to the next step in our lives. Definitely, so do that. But thank you so much, Jackie. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you
for coming on this platform. I just so appreciate it. And to everybody else who's been on this platform, you know, I really appreciate you. I really do. And thank you so much for all the love, support you've given me through this journey. I just love it. I just think it's just amazing. And yes, I am going to be sharing my story. Yeah, very soon.
Listen, chat Marcia said Lesleye is sharing in November. Marcia, you teach chat, man.
I am.
Oh, there's lots of links here in the chat for you, Lesleye, you know, from Paula, Marcia, Alvani. You know, what a lovely group of supportive, you know, women, sisters you've got around you. That's just fantastic, and love to you all. But that Marcia, she told chat.
It is in November. We haven't arranged the exact date, but it is going to be sometime in November. Okay.
I'll definitely be tuning in for that.
Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. So Facebook family, we're going to say goodbye and thank you so much. I will see you here again 5 p.m. next week Sunday, where I have got, we have got a very serious, I'm going to say, yeah, it is. It's a very serious topic, which we all need to be aware of. Very interesting topic. So yeah, I've got 2 guests coming on next week, Sunday, 5 p.m. I will be posting through the week and let you know who it is. But thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, you're leaving us hanging.
We'll see you next week, Sunday. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
There, Jackie.